Welcome back to Pockets of Paradise podcast. I'm Larson Griffith with
Megan Tedder.
And we're so glad you're here today.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Pockets of Paradise podcast. We're so excited to have you with us today. We're in our last episode of our series on daily rhythms. Is that what we called it?
Yes.
Yes, it was daily rhythms.
We'd be struggling the whole time.
And so we preface each one of these episodes by saying that we believe that you're saved by grace through faith. And that salvation is a gift from Jesus to anyone who wants to receive it, and it cannot be lost and it cannot be earned. So that's good news.
Yes.
However, on top of that,
The sprinkles
and the whipped cream and the cherry on top is that you actually get to know God while you're still living. You don't have to wait till you go to heaven to meet him. You actually get to do life with him now. You get to hear his voice. You get to go on an adventure. You get to be called and purposed. You get to be comforted. You get to be his friend now. And there are different rhythms and different habits and different lifestyles, that Christians have adopted that sets us apart from the world, and that grows our relationship with God. And so each one of the episodes in the series, we talked about different rhythms that Christians have done, and there's so many more. We're just doing a few of our favorites, because each one of us are individual, and God has individual and unique relationships with each one of us because we're all his kids. And so we get to learn how we connect to him in different seasons and in different personality types and all the things. So today we're talking about
community and
celebration
Yes.
and hospitality and all the
Yes.
things. So as Christians, we are called to community. And
right.
some people, my extroverts, will hear that and say, yes.
More power.
And my introverts will hear that and think, oh gosh, not more people.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. So we wanted to kind of go into what that actually means. And so
Yes.
in counseling, a lot of the core issue, if I get to the bottom of what's really going on in people's lives, it usually comes down to a community issue. Feeling a sense of belonging, feeling safe in relationships, feeling purpose, feeling cared for, feeling seen, feeling known, feeling like they're having fun and connecting and living life, right? Like all of these things are desires in our heart, and they usually stem from community.
Yes.
But not just any community, because like my mama said, you start looking like your friends when you hang out with your friends, so you need to be careful who you pick to be your friends. But the God-given version of a community is the most life-giving thing you can be a part of. And I think sometimes for people who have never experienced it, they kind of look at you with a side eye like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Especially women. Like when you have a group of women who love the Lord and who are genuinely cheering each other on, it is such an incredible experience. But if you've never experienced a sisterhood like that, it is very hard to imagine.
Yeah.
And so we kind of want to share God's design for community. And I think that's how I'll start it off. Is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think so easily, if we've been hurt in the past by someone, we can look at it like, yeah, you tell me I need to be friends with people, but people are people, and they're mean, and they're hypocrites, and they're all these things, when it's like, no. First off, grace wins, right? First off, and secondly, like, it's biblical.
Yeah.
And so if you are a Christian, then you are called to this. And isolation is not what the Lord has for you.
No, not at all. And yes, and there's two types of isolation. There's actual isolation where you isolate alone in your house in the dark.
Yeah. Eating potato chips.
Oh, wait, eating potato chips.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
And isolation and spurts is a good thing. Like, if you're introverted, you need to recharge,
Yes.
I know I do. I'm an introverted extrovert. So I love people. I love talking, but I get energy from being alone.
Yeah.
And so I need that time sometimes. However, we shouldn't stay there, right? The whole point of recharging is so that we can get back out there.
Yeah.
So
pour out.
Yeah, and pour out. And so there's that type of isolation, but there's also a different type of isolation. And I don't know if there's an actual term for this, but I see it a lot in counseling, but I call it hiding behind a mask.
Yep.
Where you are in public situations, but you're never genuinely yourself.
Yeah.
And that is an absolutely isolating feeling because no one knows you.
Yeah. And it's all surface.
Yes, it's all surface. No one genuinely knows you, so you can be in a crowded room and feel alone. Men struggle with this a lot, and in counseling at least.
Yeah.
And so so there's two types of isolation, and God doesn't want either one of those for you. Right. That's basically what I'm saying.
I actually had a little bit of this experience yesterday with the mask thing, because I had a friend who I am very close with. And I usually do share things with her, but she texted me yesterday. She's probably going to listen to this and be like, wait, that's me. But she texted me yesterday and she was like, how are you? How are the kids? Because school started back. And I was like, good. And then I had the choice there, right? To be like, actually what I'm really struggling with, or like, hey, this actually happened. Could you pray for me? Like,
yeah.
And so I could have done that or not. And I chose to, because I was like, you know what? Like, God placed her in my life for a reason, and we bear each other's burdens, and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to have people in your corner and to fight for you. And I was like, after the conversation, for the most part, ended, I was like, God, thank you for that. Like,
and the timing of it. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about this episode.
Yeah.
Like, just kind of, when you were talking, I was like, wait a minute. Literally had this happen yesterday, because it's hard to walk through life, and he gives us people to do it with.
Yeah, and he brought you to her mind at that moment.
Yeah.
And you needed it. That's so cool.
It is cool.
And that's the beautiful thing about a God-given community, is he is at the center of the community.
Right.
So he's the one orchestrating all of it. He's the one sanctifying all of us at the same time. And sometimes we're sandpaper for other people, and there's other people that are sandpaper for us, right?
Yeah.
Like, people
it's
are people.
Rich, though.
Yes, but the good stuff is in there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 4 main points that I wanted to touch today about community. The first one is be a family around a table. So community starts in your home. But the idea of the church and the Christian community is that we are adopted into a family that is old as time and all around the world.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we are adopted into a massive family. Like, I think about the wedding feast in heaven when we all get there, and how insane that's going to be.
Yeah.
And it's our family. Like, we have a seat at the table with our name on it, and they're our family. Like, we're adopted.
Yeah. It's going to be wild.
It's wild. I think that's Romans 8:15 talks about that. But it's just so mind-boggling to think about. But it starts in our home, and it starts in the community we create in our little micro community in our home. And so if someone were to walk into your house, would they feel the presence of the Lord there?
That's a great question.
Right? Like, would they feel loved? Would they feel invited?
Right.
Would they feel like they could just show up unannounced? Right? And so I grew up in a family that was super hospitable. Like, my grandmothers, my great-grandparents, my mother is a freak of nature when it comes to hospitality. She's incredible. And I love it. I have such a heart for it.
You do.
Because there is something so special about breaking bread with people and just getting to know them, and for no reason at all. Like, not wanting anything, not needing anything, not trying to save them, not trying to change them, just inviting them and giving them a place to belong is powerful. And then the Holy Spirit does what he does. And those people are so, for example, I have different times in my life where I've had very rich community, right? So as a kid, I had really there was like 5 or 6 families. We got together every Sunday. We
That's
were
cool.
homeschooled together. Like we did life together, and it was a beautiful season. And then in college, when I came back to the Lord, it was because of my community. They championed me, and I'll talk more about that later, but that was powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved back to Lakeland. This is a few years ago now, but I remember I was newly married, and I told Clint, I was like, we have this cute little house. I just want it to be open to whoever wants to come.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay. So a lot of times I would always cook extra because I didn't know. And so we would invite people over, and sometimes they would come and sometimes they wouldn't. But eventually, almost every night, someone was at our dinner table.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Unannounced, right? And it was usually some of Clint's single male friends who wanted a home cooked meal. And I loved it. Like they came in and they became like brothers. And now they're both married and have their own kids, and it's beautiful. But we also started this thing called family dinners, where it's like friends that become family. And back then I didn't think of it as hospitality, but that's what God was doing. He was planting that seed in my heart. And we started with like 6 people on our back porch. And the last week we did it before we moved, we had like almost 40 people in our backyard.
That's awesome.
With folding chairs and folding tables and just hot paper plates, hot mess. Nothing cute about it, but it was special.
It was real.
It was real.
Yeah.
It was hospitality, and people craved it. And everybody craves it.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a spot at the table. So can you think of a time where hospitality has really impacted you?
You?
Oh. No.
No? Okay. Let me think. I'm just kidding. Well, Megan doesn't want me to talk about this. However, she has been that person for me over the last year and a half. Like it's opened up my eyes in a form of community. Like I understood like church and the side of community with that, but you opened my eyes this last year, and like Rusty also played a part in that of like as you go do life together, but you also like had more of like a welcome in to where I'm at kind of thing. And it meant a lot to me, and it still does. But it's very much like one day I got a text from you like, I would like to invite you to this. And I was like, my first reaction was like, I don't know. And then my second reaction was like, wow, she thought to invite me to that. Like, that's cool. And I didn't really, because my prior existence was like on the go all the time, I always could like do it in that way. But like when I'm not as busy as I was now, I didn't recognize it and I didn't see it until you opened the door for that. And so that meant a lot to me. And even in high school, I normally would like go to another friend's house or something like that, but then it got to the point where people were showing up at my house.
Yeah.
And there were some days I'd drive up after work and I'm like, did I invite them over?
I did the same thing. I would get home and there would be people at my house eating at my bar, and I'm like, what are you doing here?
Yes.
They're like, we're just hanging out with your mom.
Right. I'm like, what? I don't remember inviting them, but here we are. And there's some days where I don't know what box I fall into with introvert, extrovert, all that stuff. But there were some days I was like, oh man. And then there were other days where I was like, this is going to be good. And then there's other times where I would be like, oh man, but then I get in it and I'm like, no, this was actually really good.
I'm really glad this happened.
Yes, yeah. So I feel like there's like a lot of examples in my life that going over like some of the stuff with community and studying for it, I was like, I don't really know how I feel about some of this. Like it takes vulnerability to do this.
Yeah. And you don't have to have a shiny house to invite people into it either.
Agreed.
Yeah. And that's something I had to let go of too. Because I remember when I was also first married, my husband, because again, I grew up with a mother who is amazing. Like she can we call her Cat in the Hat because she can like cook for 500 people and then it's sparkling. And we're like, how does this happen? But I did not get that. But I can cook and I can welcome you in it's fine. So, but I, where was I going with that?
I don't know.
I just completely lost my train of thought.
It doesn't have to be a sparkly house.
It doesn't have to be a sparkly house.
Yeah.
So,
how did I remember that? Keep going.
I don't know. But I feel like a lot of times people are more comfortable when it's not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be everything. I hate dusting.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be dusted. Just come in the house. Like,
Yeah.
Just a little example.
Yes.
But yeah, it is. I
Yeah.
mean,
But hospitality is just making someone feel like they were always part of the family.
yeah.
Like, you're welcome
Yes.
in, kick your shoes off,
Yeah.
and come hang out. My Mima, she has stories too, because she's also an incredible, hospitable Southern woman, and she grew up in Southern Georgia, and she's like, and we were dirt poor. Like, I couldn't feed everybody. And I said, well, what'd you do? And she said, we made a ton of sweet tea.
Yeah.
And she's like, and we drank sweet tea on the porch, and we hung
Fill
out.
everyone up with their sweet tea and their lemon slice.
Yeah, and she's like, but no one expected anything except to be together. So they would just come over and drink sweet tea and rock, and the kids would play, and that was it.
You don't have to have a 3-course, 4-course meal to invite someone just to intentionally spend time with.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I know I had a friend in college who she had gone through a really traumatic experience. And yeah, she was just sexually assaulted, horrible. And so she went kind of off the rails for a minute. And there was a woman who was in our church who was a mentor at the college we were at as well. And what she did was she said, hey, what is your school schedule? Because she lived right by the college. Like, you could walk to her house from campus. So you couldn't say you couldn't drive there because she was right there. And
There's no excuse
there's
here.
no excuse. And she said, what's your schedule? And she's like, well, and she's like, are you free on Tuesday mornings? And she's like, yeah. She's like, all right, I'm going to make you pancakes on Tuesday. And she eventually made her pancakes every Tuesday for years.
Yeah. It's so cool.
And became a mentor and walked her back to Jesus.
Yeah.
And watching that firsthand changed me. And that wasn't even me. You know what I mean? But that's how hospitality works, is just showing up for people in their pain and in their joy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, point number 1, be a family around the table and invite people in like they were always a part of the family. Believers and non-believers, by the way. Number 2, share joys and sorrows. So we had a few Bible verses for that.
Galatians 6:2, it says, bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ.
Yeah.
So it is right there.
Yeah.
Plain and simple in that sentence.
Yes. And then Hebrews 10:24 and 25.
Yeah. That one says, and let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works, not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near.
Yeah. So
the day meaning Jesus coming back.
Jesus coming back.
Yeah.
So what's crazy is that Hebrews, when that was written, he was writing to a church that was under intense persecution. Like, Christians were being killed in the street, dipped in tar and set on fire at parties of political parties, like, and trophied around. Like, Christians were under intense persecution. And he's saying, don't stop meeting together. Like, you need each other. You need to encourage one another.
Lock arms.
Be together, encourage one another, keep doing good, keep getting after it, keep running the race, and remind each other of what the goal is. Like, we are not, this life is so temporary, right? You have to fix your eyes on Jesus. And sometimes there are seasons in life where you cannot do that alone.
Right.
You need community to hold your arms up, to hold your chin up, to carry your burdens with you, to remind you of what is true and where you're going. And there's hope in that. And there's hope in that, and there's life in that, knowing that you're not alone.
Yeah. It's very different than being persecuted. But even in ministry and working in ministry, we had a chat together within the kids ministry. And one of the big things is that you shared wins, because your 2-year-old teacher could have gotten puked on and not seen anything good in that day, even volunteering in kids ministry. But your 2nd grade teacher led someone to the Lord.
Yeah.
And so, like, and it's not like that every time. Please, if you want to volunteer in kids, you should do it. It's life-giving. However, sometimes it was hard to see the good if you were, like, frustrated about something, because you come in as your own human, right? And you're already carrying a lot. And so to volunteer your time was a big deal. And so it was really fun and sometimes crazy to see like what every person experienced and build that community in that way of like sharing and being able to cheer each other on and be like, oh, next time give me that kid because I'll take the puke this week. Like, I mean, it sounds silly, but doing life together in that kind of form was a lot of fun.
It's like being on a team.
Yes, with a purpose. Absolutely.
It's so fun.
Yes,
and it's funny, and you have inside jokes and like there's so much that comes out of that.
Yeah, as soon as they hand you the kid over the door, here you go. And you love the kid, but someone else can love him this week.
Exactly. So I love that, like sharing the highs and the lows, the joys and the sorrows.
Yeah.
So celebration, we were going to do a whole other podcast on celebration because that's something that Christians are called to do. I don't know if you knew that, but God is a big, we talked about fasting a couple weeks ago. God's a big fan of celebration and celebrating things that are worthy of being celebrated. Yeah. And there were seven different feasts and celebrations that he ordained in the Bible. But I also think it's just a way of life as a Christian to stop and remember and make things special because they are.
Yeah, it's okay to sit there and say, look at what God has done.
Yes.
Like, what? How did that just happen?
Yeah, my parents are always really good about saying, like, we want to go build an altar to remember, and there's so many times in the Bible where God will do something for Jacob or for whoever, and they'll go back and they'll build an altar in that place so that every time they walk by, they remember.
Reminded. Yeah.
They're reminded.
I love that.
And that can be, you don't have to build an altar in your backyard necessarily, but that can be like, we're going to bake a cake on this day every year to remember.
Yeah.
I love the trend too of where they bake a cake and then everyone does a video and they put the little flags in the cake and they're like, this year I got out of debt, or this year I was able to like overcome something in my marriage, and like celebrating God's goodness in your life is so important. And it's so much better when you do it in community because they've had a front row seat to your life. Yeah. And they get to celebrate with and for you. And there's nothing better than that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I don't think people realize even what they're doing when they're doing that trend.
No.
I don't think a lot of people have thought about it that way. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, too. That's what it should look like. And then but it also is, community doesn't shy away from you when you're going through stuff. Right? Because a lot of times you'll have friends when things are going good and then things get a little rocky and you look around and you're like, where are they? Yep. True community, Christ-centered community is going to come up next to you and carry your burdens with you.
That's right.
So for me and you, that was me saying, Larson, hey, if you want to work from my house on Mondays, come over. And you came over all day. Yeah. And we didn't talk. We didn't.
I would like drive there. I'm like, I'm only staying an hour. We go to pick up the kids at like 2 something. I'm like, just kidding. I stayed the whole day.
But it blessed me too, right? Because I'm going through stuff too, and we're doing it together. Yeah. And we didn't even have to talk about anything. It's just being in each other's presence and working on our laptops sometimes. Yeah. But it's just creating that space for people in your life, and showing up to be a friend for others too. Yeah. So. Yes. So true family or true community is a family around a table that invites people in. It's hospitable. It shares the highs and the lows, the joys and the sorrows. And then the third reason is a harder one, but it's a good one. And it's the purpose of community is to be able to confess your sins in it. And this works 2 ways. One is when you're in genuine community with people who know you and love you, they can call you out. Right? Truth. But it's going to come from a place of you're going to be much more receptive to someone who knows you and loves you and has walked through some stuff with you. Yeah. That says, hey, what are you doing? Yeah. Hey, I think you can be better than this. Or, hey, I'm going to pray for you in this. Or, hey, how can I help you be accountable for this? Yeah. Right? It's never a condemning thing. Yeah. It's never a shameful thing. But it is saying, I love you enough to not just say what makes you feel good. Yeah. We've had a lot of conversations like that in the back past. And forth. Yeah. You do it to me too, and I love it because I'm like, sometimes I don't even know if I'm doing it. Megan's like, dang. I'm like, oh, sorry. I'm like, dang, I needed that because that's how you sanctify one. Like we're all sandpaper in each
process.
other. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's a point, a part of community that people I feel miss out on
Mhm.
is someone saying, "Hey, you don't have to live like that."
Yeah.
Do you want
Yeah.
to live like that? I don't know.
Yeah, like, how are you
Yeah.
doing? Are you sure you wanna stay this way?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't have
let's
to be this miserable, you know?
Yeah.
We can how can we get through this together, right?
Yep.
And so not say that to you, but
No,
to
I feel the conviction on my own, not because you were
I saw
saying
a
it, but,
face you
like
made. I was
yeah.
like, "What?"
Well, I've had that said to me before, right? And at first, I was like, "Ugh, get out my face."
Yeah.
Like, you can back up before I,
Punch you.
throw an arm.
But again
Right hook you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but it was needed.
Yeah,
It's
and
like, you can be happy.
that's why correction and rules without a relationship almost always equal rebellion,
Right.
right? So when you so for example, it is human nature. If someone walks up to me that I don't know from Adam
Mhm.
and says, "You need to do this, this, and this," my flesh immediately is like, "Absolutely not.
Back up.
Back up." Like, who are you? And
do you
do you
think
think
you
you
are?
You
Yeah.
might be right, but you ain't right, right? So
But this ain't how you do it.
right. And so that's why it's so important to know when to speak into
Mhm.
someone's life or when to say things and do
Yeah.
it in a way that is from a place of love. And it is almost impossible to not do it from a place of love when you're in close proximity to someone.
Yeah.
It's
And-
real easy to do it nasty on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
It's so hard to do it face to face. And that's why it's so important to, even when there's an argument in some
Mhm.
way on the phone over text message, hey, call somebody.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone and call them.
Yeah. My dad used to talk about it with me and my mom, or me and my sister and mom texting, and I'm like, you read it with that person's attitude or your own attitude
Oh, yeah.
in that.
The
and
filter you're thinking about.
Yes, yeah, it's the filter it goes through. And my dad would be like, just talk to one another on the phone.
Yeah.
And we were like, no, we all want to talk to you about it and complain about each other.
And he's losing his mind.
And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm done.
Yeah,
Like, call each other.
My husband was so funny. He was working at a bank and he had come from a job that was really intense. So he was
Mhm.
always like putting out fires and
Yeah.
talking people down. And
a
he's
lot.
cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
Like he's so easy. And
Master
by
of
the end
de-escalation.
yes. And by the end of it, he's usually best friends with whoever. And they're like
That's awesome.
sending us Christmas cards now. But like this job he was at a bank and there was it's rare that there's a situation where someone's upset, right?
Mhm.
So it's a big deal, right? So
Mhm.
he's like, this used to be my everyday, but
Yeah.
there's one big deal and everyone's
Panic.
talking about it, you know?
Yeah.
And I said, well, what happened? And Clint's like, well, I asked, like, what's going on? And they started explaining to me about the situation. And he's like, okay, I can see why she's upset. And he was like, tell me a little bit more about this woman. And she's like in her 80s. And he's like, oh, easy money. He's like, give me the phone. And so he calls her. And by the end of it, he's like, yeah, we're probably going to go get lunch next week.
Master.
But it's just like, he's like, you just got to make people feel seen.
Yeah.
And special because
Yeah.
they are. And
Right.
a lot of it eliminates a lot of the problems.
Yes, a lot of issues would be resolved if people would just talk to one another kindly,
Yeah.
but still with truth.
Yes.
Like that difference.
Yes.
But yeah, I've had situations where I'll have friends, one on one side, one on the other, come and vent, and then they're like, well, whose side are you on? I'm like, what? I'm not picking a side. Like, y'all need to grow up and talk to each other.
Right.
And it's okay to have disagreements
Mhm.
and still be friends.
Yes.
Like, it's okay.
And there's beauty in
So-
working it out.
Yeah, it's a sharpening
Yes.
for sure.
And yes, and it's humbling.
Yes.
Um,
We all need it sometimes.
yeah. So the first way confession works is people can call it out of you because they see you, they know your patterns, and they love
Mhm.
you enough to call you out when you need it. Not all
Yeah.
the time. You don't need to
Yeah.
be picked apart,
Right.
but like when you need it.
Mm-hmm.
But the second version of confession is when you are convicted about something
Mm-hmm.
and you need someone to go to, you need a community who can hold that
Right.
and not use it as ammunition against you, but say, okay, let's pray about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's talk about it. I'm trying to think of an example. I know I have hundreds of them, and I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. This is a silly example, but this is not silly, but a little example. One of my friends was like, I talk so negatively about my body all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, you do. And she was like, okay.
No, wait, okay.
Okay, ow. I said, yeah, you do. I said, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And that was a confession for her,
Mhm.
right? And so I said, okay, what are you going to do about it? And she's like, I need your help to just
Catch
call me out and
Yeah.
help me catch it because I want to change that. I don't
Mhm.
want my daughter to hear me talking like that.
Mhm.
I don't want I don't want to be ungrateful for my body, right?
Mhm.
And I said, okay, I can do that. Awesome. And now she doesn't struggle with that. I'm sure
Yeah.
she has moments like everybody does, but
Yeah.
nothing like she was. Like
Mhm.
she was constantly tearing herself apart out
Yeah.
loud in front of people. And we're like,
Right.
dang, why'd you
Yeah.
ow, that hurt my
That hurt
feelings
me
and
and
you're
it
talking
wasn't
to
me.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but that's a perfect example of like,
Yeah.
I'm convicted about this. I want you to know this is how you can pray for me. This is how you can
Mhm.
support me. Sometimes it's a place to cry. Sometimes it's a place to bring it to the light, and there's freedom in that. You don't have
Mhm.
to hide it anymore.
Yeah.
You don't, because that's a form of a mask,
Right.
right? That's isolation, is
Mhm.
masking the sin.
Right.
So it's a place of transparency where you're like, okay, here's my sin.
Yep.
I'm giving it to the Lord, and we're working it out in community.
Yeah. Hold me accountable.
Hold me accountable and cheer me on.
Yeah.
Because I need it.
Yeah.
Right. Which leads to the fourth point, which kind of ties this all up into a bow. Community stays together to grow.
Mhm.
Which goes back to community can oftentimes be the place where arguments or things are flared up,
Mhm.
but it's also the place they're resolved.
Mhm.
It's also the place you unlearn the dysfunction you grew up in,
Right.
but you have to work that out.
Yeah. Don't walk away.
Don't walk away. Don't quit.
Yeah.
Do everything in your power to make it right with someone. Invite the Lord into it. Invite mentors into it.
Mhm.
But when you wrestle through that with someone, what is on the other side is so much sweeter.
Right. A stronger bond.
It's stronger, and you realize, okay, you also need to be aware that the enemy loves to attack community,
Mhm.
especially a community that is doing really well.
Yeah, because it's biblical.
Yeah. Yep. And so he's going to strategically attack you, and he'll attack you from the inside out most of the time.
Mhm.
So be
So-
aware of that. Pray
Yeah.
against that and run to each other.
Mhm.
If one of you is in trouble, do not isolate that person.
Yeah.
Run to that person
Mhm.
because they need you.
Mhm.
They need you more than, right? And so
Right.
being able to say, okay, we're a family.
Mhm.
Whether you like it or not, we're
Yeah.
a family.
You get my good, bad, and ugly, Megan.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. And me too. But being able to say, but I'm going to fight for you.
Yeah.
Like, I got your back.
Mhm.
And if you're in trouble, we're going to figure this out.
Yeah.
I love you too much to let anything break that apart, and especially the enemy.
Yeah.
And if the enemy is attacking you or your community or a family in your community, take that as a compliment that you're doing something right, because he wouldn't care if you weren't.
Mm.
So it's one of those things to get mad at it and fight it, because it's worth fighting for. So.
That's right.
All right, I think I covered everything. There's a lot more, but that's all I wanted to cover today. But the Bible presents community and hospitality as central parts of faithful living, not just optional acts of kindness.
Mhm.
So when people see Christians, they should see that. They should see a community that does life together. And
Yeah.
I remember in college, like I was in a really good church community up there. And we were all ages, all like from grandparents to littles. Like some had families, some were in college. It was a beautiful picture of the family of God, like all generations. And I remember, like, if one of the kids had a t-ball game, we all went.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 40 of us at the t-ball game,
Yeah,
right?
showing up.
Or one of them adopted a little boy, and we filled the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you show up for people. You show up for one of them had a miscarriage, and 10 of us went over there at 2:00 in the morning, right? Like, you show up for people, and do it in a way to honor God. Mm-hmm. And that the last verse I wanted to close on was what Jesus says in John.
He says, "By this all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." And that's John 13:35.
So people will know that you are followers of Christ if you love one another. Mm-hmm. And you can't do that without community.
Yeah, and I think practically you can ask, like, if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't know about all that. I think like some questions you can ask yourself are, who are the people God has placed around me? Like, look around. You don't always have to, well, I got to go find a better friend.
Yeah.
Like you can look around.
And
For,
it
as
doesn't
far
have to
as
be a
that goes.
bunch of people either.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can grow into that, but
Yeah.
seasons are different.
And you can check yourself. Am I allowing myself to be known?
Yes.
Am I carrying other people's burdens, or am I just, oh, okay, I'm walking away? And as far as celebration, I wrote down a few. It's like, when was the last time I intentionally celebrated something God has done? And do I celebrate his faithfulness, or in the fast pace of life, do I just, okay, cool, and then move on to the next thing?
Right.
So I don't know, was thinking through some situations.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Those
thinking
are
more
good.
about those things. So.
Yeah. I had a friend who's been praying to get pregnant for a long time, and she gets pregnant. And she's super excited for like 2 days. And then she was like, okay, it's time to plan.
Now I'm stressed.
Yeah, now I'm stressed.
Right.
And I said, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Hold up.
We're just going to have a dinner party to celebrate this.
Yeah.
Like, you don't.
And that's probably so good for her, because I'm guilty of like, that was great. Thank you, Lord. All right, now the next thing, I can easily get into that in the rush of life. Right.
Constant.
Yeah. It's another thing to fight against in your relationship, with the Lord, fighting against the culture that has or is set. We've talked a lot about those things.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're called to be set apart. If someone were to follow you around for a day, would they know you're a Christian? Based on the way that you live.
Yeah, and that includes the eye rolls after you walk away from people.
Yeah. Could call me out, Larson.
No, it's me.
Okay.
I did it when I was 2, and it just never stopped. I'm just kidding. We love y'all. Thank you so much for listening.
Yes, and
taking time.
Hope you tune in next week.
Yes, see you then.
Bye.